friends, and welcome to the third part of our series Learning Website Designing through CSS. Today we are going to learn about styling to the text and paragraphs and all. So let us start. We will open the Notepad++. Okay, so we will open a previously worked file. This is our first .css file. We have worked already in it in our previous tutorial. I will show you the preview also in the web browser. So this was our file which we created in our previous tutorial. We are having one div which having one cursor. We have changed the cursor style also, help cursor. Then we are having another div. This two have the same class. This one have one unique ID. And there's one more div in which we have learned RGBA mode, okay, alpha, how to make opacity to the divs, and then we also learn how to make listing style. So now we will proceed further. We will make one paragraph here. And we will put some dummy text here. So this is our dummy text we are pasting here. Okay, so if we will open this one in the web browser, we will see the preview. It's plain, there's no style in it. So the first thing what we are going to learn for the styling is changing the fonts of this paragraph. So what we will do, we will make one simple paragraph above. So to let us know the difference between the two paragraphs, this is my dummy content. Okay, so this is one paragraph above, this is my dummy content, and this is my second paragraph. Okay, so what I will do in this paragraph, I will give the style directly here, font family Vardhana. Okay, so you can see the difference between the two paragraphs. Here I have used the font Vardhana, and here I have used the default font what is available in through the browser. I think this one is Times New Roman. Okay, so in order to change the font using CSS, you have to use font family. There are many fonts available in CSS like Georgia, Vardhana, Arial, Sans Serif, Cursive, Monospace, and Fantasy. These are few fonts which are web safe font. What are web safe fonts? Web safe fonts are those fonts which are installed already available in most of the computer. So you don't need to install that font specifically in that particular computer. So they are already available in all computers. But if you want some fancy fonts like Forte, Monotype, Corsiva, so these fonts are not always available in each and every computer. In that scenario, what you could do, you could directly install that font in the hosting server, and then the page will retrieve that font from the hosting server. How to achieve this? We are going to learn this one in the end of the tutorial. For now, we will work on another font tags available. So now font family is clear to you. Now another is font size. How to increase the size? You could give any size in pixels from 0 pixels to whatever pixels you want. To give an idea of the size, the width of this screen is around 1300 pixels. So accordingly, if I give 30px, okay, so this one is 30px size and this one is normal. So using font size, you can change the size of the font. Now if you want to make this font italic, then you will use font style italic. Okay, now this one is italic. If you again want to remove this one, you could use normal. So now this one will become normal. And you could, instead of using italic, you could use oblique as well, which works similarly, same like italic. Okay. So moving ahead. Now if I want to make this text bold, so what I will do, font weight bold. Now this one is bold as well. Okay. Moving ahead. Now, as you can see, I have mentioned all the style in line 1. Okay. So there could be possibility that I want to apply the same styles in some another paragraph available bottom. Suppose I am having one more paragraph here. Another paragraph. So now I am having one paragraph in the top, one paragraph in the middle, and one paragraph in the bottom. And I want the top paragraph and the bottom paragraph having the same style. So what I could do, I have two options. First, I will copy all the style from here and I will paste here as well. So what is the drawback of that? Since you are using the same fonts, but you are mentioning again and again and again, and suppose if you want to change the font again one more time, so you have to find it everywhere where it is available and you have to change it one more time, which could be a lengthy process for you if you have mentioned the same thing in many places. In that scenario, what we have to do, we have learned already in the previous class, we could mention this one in class or ID. So we will put in class my para. Okay. And we will cut all the styles from here. Control X. Now in our top we have already give the reference of an external style sheet file, link rel style sheet, and we have give the reference of inside the styles folder I have style.css file, so we can mention all the styles there. For the class my paragraph, we will open that style sheet file. Inside the styles folder, style.css, you could name any name whatever you want to name for the style sheet file, but the extension should be .css. Okay, so we will open this file and my para. Okay, dot is for class name and s is used for paragraph for the ID name. So inside here I will paste all that style what I have used. So if I will refresh the page, see there's no difference. Means things now the style is getting loaded from the external style sheet instead of coming from the internal style. So now what I have to do, I have to just change here. I have to mention this one also class is equal to my para. Now this one will also have the same style. Okay, so this is the benefit of using class. Now suppose you want to change style of this too. Now you don't have to change in individual places. You will directly go in the external style sheet and you will just change the style whatever you want to do. Instead of bold, you want to make it normal again. So now if I will refresh the page, this too will get changed similarly. Okay, so this is the benefit of using class. Moving ahead, now we are having this paragraph in the middle. I will also put this one in one class, para2, and what I will do, we will do our further styling whatever we want to do here. So now this one is my paragraph in the middle. I will put it in another class, my para1. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to increase the gap between the lines available in between. Okay, I want to increase the gap between the lines here. So what I will do, I mention new para1. Okay, this is my class and I will mention all the styles inside. Okay, so in order to change the gap between the two lines, what I will do, I will use line height. Okay, so now suppose I give 2. There no need to mention pixels or any other unit. We give just number. If I mention 2, So whatever is the gap between the lines, it will be double. Okay, so it comes in decimal form also. 1.5 means 1.5 times more the gap. Okay, so if I mention 2 and I will save the file and I refresh, so gap between the lines now is now double. Okay, so I can reduce also. If I say 0.5, so gap will be half and they will be quite stick towards each other. Okay, like this, they are kind of overlap to each other. So you could play with the line height to increase or decrease the gap between the lines available inside the paragraph. Okay, and it's not mandatory that always you use paragraph. You could use div also. Inside the div you put the same styles, or inside span there are many more other elements available: paragraph, div, span. Okay, we will learn about those tags also in future. So moving ahead, this was the line height. I will make it normal. One is the normal one. Okay, so this is the normal height, normal gap between. Now if I want to change the color of this two, okay, so for changing the color, this one my para is the class for those two color. Right, you could give name, you could give color code hexadecimal, you could give RGB mode, you could give RGBA mode. It's up to you. And how to choose your desired color, we have another video individually dedicated for, specially dedicated for this one color codes only. So you could follow that inside the link available in the description section. You could visit that page, so you could learn about the color codes, how to get desired color what you want, because it's not possible to remember the name of each and every color, and it's not possible to remember the color code as well of each and every color. So I have made it red. Now this blue has become red in color. Okay, now if I want to change the background color of this paragraph, so what I will do, I will go in the my para 2 and I will change background color and I will give it yellow. Okay, one thing I should mention first, so whenever you mention some kind of style, so two styles are separated with a semicolon in between, and to give the value of a particular style you have to use column. Okay, colon, and after colon you will give the styles, and by semicolon you separate different styles. So here I give for my para 1, I give the background color yellow. We have set this file. Now if we will see the preview, now the background color of that paragraph is having yellow color. Okay, now what we can do, I want to increase the space between the each and every letter. Similarly, like we have increased the space between the lines, we can increase the space between the each and every letters as well. So for that purpose, what I will do, this is controlled by letter spacing. Okay, so letter spacing is given in pixels, not like line spacing. So if I mention 5 pixels, then between each and every letter there will be a gap of 5 pixels. Okay, we will see the preview. See, now each and every letter have a gap of 5 pixels. We will make it normal again. 0 pixels is the default one. So this is the normal one. Now what I have to do, this was controlled by letter spacing. Now I can increase the gap between the words as well. I want to make more space between each and every word, so I could use word spacing. Word spacing 20 px. So between each and every word there will be a gap of 20 pixels. Okay, like this. Now letter having the same space, but the words are having more space, 20 pixels. So accordingly you could increase the distance between the line, distance between the letters, distance between the word according to your requirement. Now we are having these two texts. I want to align it to the right hand side of the page. Left hand side is the default one. Okay, so for the my para, what I will do, text align is equal to right. If I will mention right, now these two will align to the right hand side of the page. Okay, so left is default one, or you could mention left also, or you could mention center. So now they will be aligned in the center of the page. Alright, this one is text align. Now I am having this paragraph, my para is this one and my para, both are having the same class. Now what I want to do, I want to make this thing, the text available inside underline. So what I will do, I will go inside the style, and in order to make a text underline, we say text decoration underline. Now these two texts are underlined. Okay. Now instead of underline we can say overline. Then there will be a line on the top of the text, overline. Okay, and there's one more thing, overline, and there is line through. Same like stripe we are having in HTML. Line through. Okay, so now we are having three styles for the text decoration. One is underline, one is overline, and one is strike through, which is known as line through in the CSS. Now we can combine all the three as well. We can make the same text underline, overline, and line through. How to achieve this? We will just make it like comma separated, underline, comma, overline. Now for the text decoration style, we have mentioned all the three styles by comma separated. Semicolon will separate two different styles from each other. So if we will see the preview, now this one is in order to make a text overline, underline, and line through all together, what we do, instead of using we mention the same style by giving space in between. Okay, and semicolon will separate the two styles from each other. Now we will see the preview. Now the text is underline also, overline also, and strike through also. So you could use combination of 2-3 styles together to achieve a target. If I remove from here line through, then it will be underline and overline as well. So for your heading, you could decorate your text in this way. It will look amazing and wonderful for the future use. Okay, now we can change the color of this text decoration also. Okay, so currently, since our text is of red color, so the underline and overline are also coming of red color. We can change the color as well. So we will use just underline only in this case. You could combine styles also of text decoration color. Now it was red, I will change it to blue. Now the color of the underline is blue in color and the color of the text is red in color. Similarly, we can change the style of the underlined text. Like we are having, now we will mention here in the next line, text decoration style. The first style is solid only, which is the default one we are having. Another one is double. Solid is the default one. If you mention or not, the default will be solid only. Okay. So now instead of solid, we will use double. So there will be a double line in the bottom. Okay. We can mention this one for overline as well. Underline space overline. So in top and bottom you will get like this style. So it's an amazing style to make your page more decorative. Now similarly, I will remove again here overline. This was just to show you an example. Now instead of double you could use dotted. This one is dotted. Then you could use dashed. this one is dashed, and then there's wavy. Suppose you have to mention like this one is wavy, like you see in Word as well. So if there's some spelling mistake, then underline is a wavy tag. So you could use like this styles to achieve your target, whatever you want to show, and in whatever way you want to show your text. Okay, so I think this thing is clear to you. Now we are going to learn about text indent. As you can see in this paragraph, if you have studied in your class any language, you should know already, whenever we start a paragraph, there is a little gap in the starting. Sometimes we say two-finger gap or something. So in CSS also we could mention the gap as well using text indent. Okay, so in my para 1, because this one is having the class my para 1, text indent, and we will give in pixels. If I say 20 pixels, so in the starting of the paragraph there will be a 20 pixel gap in the starting. So whenever we will start a paragraph with here, since it was part of the same paragraph only, so there's no text indent here. If you want to change the text indent in each and every paragraph, you should put in them in separate paragraph with same class. Okay, so now if I increase this one to 70 pixels, so there will be a gap of 70 pixels from the starting. Okay, now sometimes what happens, we are picking up the data from the server, from the database, and sometimes the user has input his name in small letter, sometimes in capital letter, or sometimes in mixed content. And whenever you want to display that data, you want to make sure that the data is always shown in either capital letter or small letter, or according to your need. So we can convert the data also. So it doesn't matter how the text is written in this paragraph, we can transform this one also using text transform. So inside my para text transform, I can make each and every letter to be capital. Capitalize is the value for text transform in order to make each and every letter capital. Here, capitalize means same like sentence case you are having. So each and every letter of the word, first letter of each and every word will be capital. Like in sentence case, like you write a name of some person or something like that. Now if you make it lowercase, so each and every letter will be in lowercase, and similarly uppercase. Now each and every letter is in uppercase. Okay, now suppose if I give 5-6 spaces in between these two tags, aluminum and cans. Okay, so I give a few spaces between aluminum and cans, and we will see the preview. Here between aluminum and cans, no spaces are available, but here I have given so many spaces in between. But if for the preview, there are no spaces. And suppose after this strand I press enter button. Okay, so I change 2-3 lines. So after strand, this thing should come after 2-3 lines. But if we will see the preview, so after the strand, the line is also not changed. This is the property of HTML. Multiple spaces, tabs, and enter is not valid for HTML. They will be ignored. In order to preserve all the spaces and all the enter, what we could do, we will give one style inside this my paragraph. We will go in the styles and my paragraph. What we will do, my para 1, we will say white space and pre means preserved. So we will preserve all the white spaces. If I give this style and if I refresh, now all the extra spaces is now considered. After aluminum, extra spaces are considered. Okay, and all the enters available inside the text are also considered. So wherever I was having an enter sign, the text is identified as enter. Okay na. So wherever I was having pressed enter, and this one now it's okay. Now here I will press again. So after this one, the text is getting outside the box. Okay, this one is getting outside the box. So immediately after in, I want this one coming from new line, so I will greater this one, I will press in new line. So now this thing will come to a new line. After in, the next thing is going to the new line greater. So this one is preserving all the spaces. So if there is no enter, if there's no space, then all will come in the one single line as is happening in there. It's going outside the div section. Okay, so but if I will press enter, then the new thing from here will come in a new line. So if we will change the white space preserved, then we have to keep this one in mind. If there's no br tag, then the each and every text, this whole text, since there's no br, no line change, 28 line, this one from here to here, so this one, the whole thing is coming in one single line. So what I could do, I could change like this. After yet I press one enter, after latest I press one enter, hours I press one enter. So now this thing will come in new line. Okay, like this. So in order to preserve the space is available between, in order to preserve the address between, enter sign between, we have to put it in like this, white space preserve. Sometimes what happens, some people have submitted their letter or address in the database, and we are retrieving that data from the database, and we have to present it exactly in that way, the way they have written it, preserving the spaces and the enters. Okay, so we use this thing in that case. Okay, now I have to show you one more thing. I'm having this text, and this one is having no font. We haven't mentioned any font for this one. Okay, font family we have mentioned Vardhana. Now suppose I have some fancy kind of font. That font may be available in my computer, but it's not available in some other computer where I'm giving this file to run. I put this all file in one pen drive and I give to someone, and that font is not available in his computer, so the font will not appear exactly same. Same thing happen when we host our website in the web server. When we host our website in the web server, if that font is not available in that web server, so the font will get changed. Any default font will come in that position. So sometimes if your website is in some other language, say Arabic or Korean or Chinese language, and you install that font in your computer and you mention that font, and the website is available in that language, Arabic or Chinese or what other language. Okay, so when you will upload this file in the web server, the fonts will get disappeared because it's not available in the server. In that scenario, what we do, we use CSS. We link the font. We install. We copy that font also in our drive, and we link that font to our through CSS. So whenever a page is open, even if the font is not available in their computer, it will retrieve it from the web server and it will then implement the font. Now I will show you with an example. I will open one new this one, this PC. I am having many fonts here. Okay, here I am having this font 3D noise. This font is not installed in my system. Okay, what I will do, I will copy this font from here and I will go to the location of my file. So as we are having a separate folder for videos, styles, images, audios, similarly we will make one more folder for the fonts. Okay, so we will copy all our fonts in this folder. Okay, so it's a good idea to keep your things organized and arranged so that you could also easily find things when you have to have so much data. Okay, so inside the font I will copy this font, and for our convenience we will rename it so that 3D noise. There's no space available. Okay, so as you know, the naming of a file, there should be no space available inside. So 3D noise is the name of our font, and this is the important true type font is the font type. If we go in the properties, .ttf is the extension. In few cases this one is written in capital letter capital TTF, so you have to make sure whether it's in small letter or capital letter. Okay, so now we have our font copied already inside the inside our folder, one folder. Now what we will do, suppose this one font family, if I give 3D noise, okay, and if we will see the preview here, see, no changes has been done. This one is the default Times New Roman font. Okay, now Verdana is also changed from Verdana, now 3D noise, since 3D noise is not installed in our computer. If I will show you the preview of this font, then this font should look something like this. Okay, so now in that scenario what we will do, no need to install this font in your computer, just copy the file inside your server. Okay, so now what I will do, now in order to link this one font, okay, so what I will do, add font face I will use, add font face I have used. Now inside this one I will first name the font family. I can name any font name to this font, my special. I give it name my special. Okay, you could name any one you want. Okay, I didn't name it 3D noise so that you don't get confused. This is the special name of the font, okay, which we are giving. It's coming from our side. Now you have to give the source, src means source, URL, and inside the URL you will mention the complete path. It's inside fonts folder. Okay, and the name is 3D noise .ttf. Okay, true type font. So these are the two steps. Now font family, since I name it as my special, so what I will do, I will name it here also my special. My special. Okay. Now there was a trick here available, since currently if I open this file, currently we are already inside the styles folder. This is very tricky and sometimes make it confused. Inside the styles folder we are already available inside. Now we have to first come out of this folder. So in order to go one directory back, what we use, // so now we will go one directory up. Now we have to go inside the fonts folder. So now this one is fonts, and inside the fonts the name is 3dnoise.ttf. so what we have done, font family, my special, I give a special name for it so that it's easy for me to remember the name, my special 1, my special 2, and like on whatever name you want to give, so it's easy for you to utilize that name here. Then for the URL you will give the complete path. If you are already in some folder and you want to come outside of that folder, so you will use .. If you are available in two folders inside, then you will use 2 times. Then you will get out from first folder, then from second folder, then you will came in the main root directory. Okay, so this is the thing, we were already available inside the styles folder, we came out from the styles folder, then we go inside the fonts folder, and this is the name of the file, and it's picked in by using my special name. So now if we can see the preview, using this way we can use any font we want to implement. I didn't install this one folder in my system, I need to install this folder here, but I didn't do it. Okay, so this folder, I'm just having the file for that font, I'm not having that font installed in my system, so it's picking up. So whenever we are uploading this one, to the web server, or whenever we are giving this one through the pen drive to someone else to see the preview. Even if that person not having this font, he will be able to see that font. Okay, so this is very good benefit of using CSS font face, because many times most of the fonts are not available in the server, and using this way you can install the fonts in the server and it will be uniformly available all around the world without any problems. So I hope you find this video useful and you have learned a lot of things in our video. And if you did so, don't forget to subscribe our button, press like button and share with your friends so that other people also could learn from our tutorials. We will see you soon again in our next video. Till then, stay connected with us. Bye bye.